your girl Zoom. You know I got topics, so I'm gonna top them topics right now. Hi, my name is Uzunma Udeh. I am a Nigerian, born and raised in Louisiana. I've lived in Brooklyn for 5 years now. I am a writer, performer, and an analyst is my day job, and I am Situation's Millennial of the Month for February.
Boom! We are now in the part of the show where I take calls from you stupid idiots, and I do my best to drag you from whatever human garbage pit you've managed to fall into. Okay? Whether it be relationship nonsense or unadulterated stupidity, I will do my best to guide you back to that hidden gem called common sense.
I kind of had a sheltered upbringing. My parents just didn't know what was going on. They're immigrants, they're just trying to figure it out. They're new to Louisiana when I was young. So that was just a very interesting experience, but they always really focused on academics and schooling. So that was kind of my focus. But my outlet was art. So I did a lot of painting, I did stage stuff, I was singing in church. Like I just did stuff that was kind of outwardly expressive. And so, but I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, let me focus on these books. Let me get these grades up. Let me go to a good school. All of elementary, middle school, high school, just kept doing really well in school and track, but not really thinking about the art side at all. And then I got into college. I went to Columbia. So one of my teammates was like, yo, Zoom, because she was from the Midwest. Yo, Zoom, let's go try out for a play. And I was like, no, girl, I'm not doing a play. I'm not doing that. And she was like, no, let's try out. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And she was like, no, we're going to. So then we did. And then we both got called back, and only I went to the callback. So I was like, how do you drag me into something and you don't even fit? But I was like, it's cool, it's cool. So then I went to the callback, and I actually ended up being cast in the play. And that was when I was a bit, like, I was like, yo, I'm a performer, this is crazy.
For some reason, there is this weird misconception and air of intrigue around the idea of pooping. And I don't understand why, because every single human being has to do it to be alive.
So then I graduated from school, and I was working at a hospital at the time, and I needed an outlet. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to just write a play. So like, I'm gonna just look up how to write plays. I'm gonna write one. I'm gonna see what happens. So I wrote my first play called Therapy. It wasn't very good, but it was in like a festival type situation, and it was cute. It was a cute moment for me just to do that and say I got it done, and then I just started writing and performing and getting a little bit better and a little bit better, performing in Boston, all throughout New York, and a few other places. And then I said, let me expand my reach, because people kept telling me, oh, I wanted to come to your play, but I couldn't get there. So I was like, well, why don't I start doing videos and stuff so that I can make it a little bit more accessible.
Hi. I never know how to start these things. This is now the fourth time that I've taken this video, so I'm kind of unsure as to how to introduce you to myself. So I'm just gonna not.
I'm a narcissist, so I put myself in most things because I'm like, yeah, no, I want to see me because I'm incredible, you know. Recently, I wrote something. The first thing I wasn't in called "See Me," and that was one of my favorite plays that I've written because it was about intersectionality. It kind of followed after the Women's March. How I had a conversation with this white girl who was like, I don't understand why Black people are mad because we showed up to the Women's March and and they were mad because like there was Black Lives Matter, and like she just didn't understand that people who are Black were irritated about the Women's March because we've been saying, like Black people have been saying that this was an issue for forever.
A robbery was committed at Pinnacle Pizza. The suspect was a man of color wearing a hoodie. If you see any man of color wearing a hoodie, call the crime hotline or feel free to shoot him yourself.
Now that it's affecting white women, suddenly it's a thing. We're supposed to congratulate you for making it to the cause 10 minutes, like so much later than after what we were doing. So that was really just a conversation between a Black girl and a white girl, just saying, do you see, like, I know we're friends, I know we're roommates, but do you see that I am a Black woman, that I get less than you because I'm Black? that people just give you shit because you're white. And like people, and it's like, do you not see that I'm sitting here in front of it? I feel like you're just seeing that I'm like vaguely a person, but you don't really recognize what I go through. I like to do festivals because they're already set up. So I just write something, and if I think I like it, then I'll send it out to whatever festival I kind of see around.
This is my ode to Domino's. Domino's, you are the light of my life, the cheech to my chum, the peanut butter to my jelly, the Excedrin to my migraine, the purple to my drink.
The process of getting a play staged is a lot. It's exhausting. There's rehearsals. There's just a lot going on. So I wanted something that was more instant. And so I was like, well, I'm just gonna write video content.
Hi, my name is Uzunma, and I'm from Louisiana, and I'm 25 years old, and I want to be in the real world.
So the first YouTube video / series that I did was an audition series.
And we can hit low notes.
I was auditioning for The Voice, I was auditioning for The Amazing Race, and I was auditioning for The Real World. And so it was just me like changing myself to fit what I thought those people really needed for their showcase.
We like to race.
It's like, I hate when people are like, oh, you do comedy and you're black. What about Issa Rae? I'm like, Issa Rae is doing it, and I too would like to do it as well. I was like, there is so much space. There's infinite space for people to consume things. There's no reason for us not to be both doing it at the same time. And I feel like, don't be like, oh, they already have this. I don't need to do this. They already have the one black person. I don't. No. Let there be two. Let there be three. There's like 25 white people. Like what? And there's one black. No. No. Let there be a few less of them and a few more of us. Just type in AZOOMAH into YouTube. I'm the first thing that pops up, and you can check out all of my content because that's what people make now is content. So when I don't write, when I take long breaks, I feel like, I need the outlet. I need something to, like, it just doesn't feel, I don't feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. With playwriting, with writing plays specifically, it is an incredibly white space. Oh, it's white! It is white men who love to hear the sound of their own voice. And as a black woman, it is jarring for them to see me walk in a room. I remember, like, whenever you start a festival, we usually have like a first time meeting of come meet, ask questions, and I will walk in the room and they look at me like they have no idea why I'm there. I must be a performer for someone's slave play, but then I raise my hand with questions because I am a writer, I'm a creator, and I feel like my advice to anybody who wants to come in this as like a black person or as a black woman specifically is get ready to be in a white room. Just prepare yourself for that mentally, but don't let that deter you from doing anything. The idea of wanting to be a creative wasn't based on me seeing somebody who looked like me. It was because I was like, I don't see that. And I recognize that I don't see that. And I feel like I should see it more. Like I'm a woman, there's a lot of women, I'm black, there's a lot of black people. I'm vaguely tall, there's a lot of vaguely tall people. And there's a lot of people who want to be creatives, there's a lot of people that want to create things. So in that sense, I'm like a lot of people. I'm not that different. The only thing that I have that makes me different from everybody in this whole world is that I am Uzunma, Udeh. That's it. No one else is that. No one else can be that. And all I can bring to the table is myself, as myself. And that's why a lot of things I write and create are points of views for myself. Because when I try to do things that other people are doing, it doesn't come off as sincere or genuine. The things that are the most sincere and genuine, like my plays, are plays that come from a place of honesty and like, this is what I have to say about this, not this is what all black people have to say. Because I find that people relate to me the most when I'm being Uzunma. In 2018, what I'm currently going to be working on is first this thing I've been calling Dad Project. I haven't titled it yet because I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly, but basically what I know when my dad has a retirement ceremony that's like a village tradition. They've retired from military service. There is no war right now, so there's no need for it, but there was at one point, and so they've served. Then they do another ceremony to say that now they're ready to be like generals and heads of the army, and then they have a retirement ceremony around mid-60s to show that they are retiring. I want to interview him a lot, and I want to kind of just encapsulate kind of the culture visually and all the things that are part of it, like all of these little ceremonies that I'm nervous will die after his generation because there's so much diaspora. Like I'm here, there's a lot of Nigerians that are here, so we're not as connected. So what I want to do is interview him a bunch, get his story, talk about how it is to get here, why there's so few of them that made it here. There was a civil war in Nigeria. He was a child soldier during that civil war. How was that seeing dead bodies everywhere at the age of 12, like you lost your father during this war? How that kind of affected your life. And then you ended up in the US in the late 70s and early 80s in the South, trying to be a black man who was Nigerian with a heavy accent, doing that, like how that affected that part of your story. And then you had kids, like he thought he was gonna go back to Nigeria and raise us, and the economy didn't allow it. So he ended up being in the US here. So how that affected it and how all of that plays into who I am as a person, like just understanding the context of my own life through the lens of my dad. So it's gonna be kind of a documentary style, but like documentary in the sense of it not being super boring. So the other project that I really, really want to get done in 2018 is a day in the life, performance pieces. That is my baby. Like I have never felt more close to a piece of work than that.
I live my life black and proud, but faced with the knowledge that my skin is my cage. But to disrobe is to be free, and freedom is a choice.
It was something where I took a lot of feedback and things I did over the years, and it kind of fed into this. And the response was crazy. It was amazing. And so I really, really, really want to do it fully staged with all the lights and the visuals that I have in mind for it, because it's such a strange piece of work, but I feel like it's got a place. It has a place. And when it's done and done well, it just feels so strongly. So I'm excited for this year to get that up on the ground. So thank you so much, Situation, for featuring me as the Millennial of the Month for February. It was truly an honor. And everybody follow me on Instagram at AZOOMAH. I post anything that's coming up or just my day-to-day life. You'll see it there first. And you can find me on YouTube if you just search AZOOMAH. I'm the first thing to pop up, the big old afro. So yeah, that's where you can find all my work. And again, thank you so much.